say go through the night. Now Bernadette not with courage they fight. Ridgely, Marlena, and Toomba on deck. Against the order, they won't break a sweat. A world full of darkness, but heroes stand tall. Battling the shadows, won't let themselves fall. The royal oppression, they aim to break free. In the land of the lost, they're the key. No dragons remain, just a distant memory. But the spirit of fire burns wild and free. These heroes, they push on through the perilous haze. And the world has been shattered, they'll find better days. The orders grip titans, but they'll resist. With every step forward, they'll persist. In the face of danger, they'll never back down. The ultimate treasure, the freedom unbound. As this journey unfolds, they'll conquer the fear. Through the storms and the battles, the ending nears. The order will crumble, the heroes will win. In the wakes of woe, a new world begins. So raise your voice, let the tale be told of the fearless adventures, brave and bold. In the wakes of woe, they'll rewrite the story of a world reborn in all of its glory.
WaWor, in the wakes of war, we sail. Fight in the darkness, we will prevail. Our heroes rise up, an unstoppable crew. In the wakes of war, they'll see it through.
Alright, let me hit the go live. We are live. I think Elle, you're up for recap, right?
Yep. So I have a notice now.
Let's hear it.
That was weird.
Okay, there we are. Go to my notes. Okay. We started off last session by combat with a Cyclops and several henchmen. We defeated the foes of the Order with little difficulty. It took about like an hour and 20 minutes or so. So that's like the majority of what happened last time. In the aftermath of the situation, Malina, as per usual, does Malina things and decided to play with the decapitated head of the Cyclops, in which point Bernadette caught a glimpse of something behind the eye and extracted a bluish looking gem with magical properties. This turned out to be a topaz of Misty Step. We proceeded to check out the tents all around us. Toomba came upon a skinless ogre named Ogi, probably like Ogi the Honorable Dwarf. I think that's where you got the inspiration for. And Malina served as a translator between a bear-shifting druid and a twitchy-looking satyr prisoner named Riven Ironhoof, who just wouldn't shut the fuck up about needing to go back to his group in Snowfall. Elle and Aradel shared a brief moment in the last tent, looting several chests and finding the following. 13 Akuktuk gold coins, 6 modern coins, 3 standard healing potions, 2 bottles of grease, 2 bottles of poison, glaive of returning, battle axe of frostbite, 1 diamond, 1 emerald, and 1 adamantine ingot. And a bunch of papers that none of us knew how to read. Finally, we all joined in the teepee-looking tent with enough for 4 to sleep in once. We were given the green light to catch up with some backlog of conversations that's been building up over the long campaign by now. However, as per usual, we got distracted. And we attempted to remove the shackles of the 2 prisoners and accidentally unlocked a hatch leading to Lehman's tiny hut, or whatever the spell is called in the process. Down there, Ogi was fearful, what lurked within, but it turns out to have been a capable mage and smith with several attempts by magical means to escape the situation. However, we've successfully captured the kobold, but he burned up soon after, in green flames as it is, before he could tell us anything about what was happening here. But we looted and finished adamantine half-blade, and that's as far as we got.
Druid, what the hell?
Yeah.
WaWor censored. Perfect, Druid. That is so beautiful.
What was the names of all the NPCs?
What the fuck?
Well, I think WaWor said him.
Yes.
Doug
we
with
got
glasses.
Riven, Ironhoof, and then we got Ogi, and the Kobold never gave us his name.
Yeah, because he fucking combusted.
Yeah. And I don't think the Cyclops had a name, otherwise...
He became molten slag. There's nothing left to ask questions from.
I don't think that matters.
Perfect. Take your super inspiration.
Thankies.
Now we have two super inspiration. We got to use this wisely. Or hoard
I
it
can
till the
combat
end
you
of the
now, mage.
So we're picking up where we left off, with everyone making a Constitution saving throw.
No. Shit.
game. Even though we're inside?
You're
But-
inside. It is still very cold.
Alright.
Alright, I'm using your die, Shy.
Oh yeah, we got to use your dice now.
Is that a
Yeah.
D20?
Ah,
It was,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
a
a
D20.
beautiful thing.
It's a d20 plus your Constitution saving throw modifier.
You
We'll
do
also
me
be
well for-
implementing the D60 rule. This game.
I think your new dice likes me. That's a
Yeah.
18 plus 2.
That's a 21. 15 plus 6.
Good.
11.
I'm glad you like the new image I sent you.
Your new dice are making a good first impression.
All right. So since you passed, you'll be taking half damage.
Oh, shit.
Did I even roll? I pressed it.
It is a total of 8 damage. If you pass, it is halved.
Or
Cold damage.
Okay, now it rolls.
This is the first time we've taken cold damage, right? Because before it was either if you passed, you didn't take any damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys have been in the elements for probably almost a full day now. It's really starting to wear on you guys. You know, yes.
What do you say the DC was? I got a 13.
It's not double halved, so if you DC is 15.
Oh,
If you do not pass, you take 8 cold damage. If you do pass, you take 4. If you're a barbarian, you take less.
Should we retreat back to our own camp or attempt to shelter here?
it was our own camp was no more than like a minute's walk from where we are right now, right?
Correct.
so you guys are coming up from the thingy?
Did anyone loot any of the bodies after last session?
I don't think we did,
loot all
no.
the- we loot all the bodies that were upstairs. That's where we got the gem and something else. But we haven't done anything downstairs.
We never
yet.
looted all the henchmen, we just looted the Cyclops.
That's true.
We'll pick up from the camp and we'll see what everyone's doing.
The kobold was turned into slag, so we can't
Yeah.
exactly do as that. The adamantine
His clothes
armor
and
was
stuff
already...
are still there.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
he was like literally melted. Like,
Yeah, he did.
Alright.
He liquefied from the inside out.
oh, liquefied. Okay, that's a little different.
Is there
well,
anything in this room or on his person of interest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a smithing station, there's an alchemist station, there's chains on the walls, and there's obvious table where experimentation has been going on. So there's like hawked off pieces of like flesh, like there's arms and like splayed open rib cages.
I propose we remain here for the time being.
It is warmer down here. Better know if it's safe down here.
So, Shai, the thing about I asked you about in DMs twice. Did I do the thing?
Let me check.
Should we go back to our camp or stay here for the night?
Oh, yeah, that's easily done.
Very well.
Would you like to begin your project on the not quite finished adamantine armor, or would you rather do that at a later time?
I do not know when we'll have access to a forge again. DM, looking at the armor, can I have an idea of how long it would take me to finish this?
We can make a intelligence.
Would this be investigation or straight intelligence?
Investigation.
Natural 20.
You've never worked on adamantine before.
No.
You don't know if you have the skill to work on it.
Okay. I'll look it over and she'll like kind of be tapping on it with her fingers.
It would take a expert craftsman to forge this, or some pre-laid molds that you'll have to pour liquefied ore into to kind of mold and shape what you want to build. As far as like finishing someone else's project, you're not sure.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not skilled enough to finish this.
Very well. It's at least worth a bit of money. But
Or
in that
perhaps
case, I
skill.
say, go on.
So you can find someone else who is capable. Obviously, if this kobold was able to, someone
The
else might be.
kobolds are known for their crafting capabilities. It's unlikely we'll find another one quite like him. A pity.
I'm gonna look at the. You said he has like flesh laid out on a table. Is there any notebooks or any indication of what he's doing?
There's a few notebooks. There's actually one on his crafting table, and there's also an alchemy station with various potions.
I'm interested in the notebook on the gore table.
Yeah, so the table covered in freezing blood and almost fresh intestines. There's still steam coming off them. There is a notebook. It's got a lock on it.
If I look it over, do I see any runes indicating there might be a trap on it?
Do not. It is in a weird language. What language do you speak?
Common and orc.
You don't understand it. It looks like very weird scratching on the cover.
I'll show it to whoever's down the room with me, which I think is, well, I guess the assistants would just be Arendelle and Druid. Do you recognize this language?
I'll take a look at it. Is it Abyssal, Elvish, or Common?
Does not.
I'll need a bit of time in order to perform the correct ritual, but I can decipher it.
I'll just take the book for now. Judging by the gore, is there any indication of what he might have been trying to do?
Definitely experimentation of sorts.
Okay.
There's a pile of bodies in the far corner. And possible victims.
Interesting. I'll keep looking around if there's anything of interest. Otherwise, I'll head back up. I'll
There's
turn
a
to
few
Arendelle.
potions on the alchemy table.
Is Arendelle interested in that?
A potion on the alchemy table?
There's a few. They're varying colors. None seem to be labeled.
Sure, I can identify them later.
There is a red one, a blue one, and a black one.
Unknown red potion. One. To backpack, please. Unknown blue potion. Backpack, please. And unknown black potion. All right. He puts those away in his satchel, and
Is that everything, or are we leaving?
Any hidden compartments, chests, anything that wasn't meant to be found?
Have to do some investigating to find out.
I do investigation check. I'm losing all of my good rolls right now. That's high. 26. 18 plus 6. No, 18 plus 8. Sorry.
You find your way over to the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pull some people off. And as you're kind of like moving these bodies, you see these kind of mechanical contraption underneath it. Almost making a skeleton of sorts. And you realize that this one clump is a failed experiment. And it looks like this person was trying to create some sort of flesh golem.
Okay.
A biomechanical concoction, essentially.
I don't like the signs of that.
I think Bruno just kind of stares at that for a minute. Does it seem like all signs point to the kobold made this? Is there any signs that there might have been a second person down here, or was it only the kobold?
There's no signs of there being any other people down here. At all.
It is disappointing that his body completely disintegrated.
Indeed.
Interesting. Okay. And no other notebooks aside from the one I have?
Oh, there's a slew of books. The only one of note is the one that you have with the lock.
Okay. Yeah, if anything looks remotely like a notebook, anything that relates to this gore pile that I'm seeing, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
that's the only like notebook / journal you find, but there are a slew of like alchemy and potion books.
Okay. Yeah, anything that looks like might be of interest. Not reading them now, just taking them for, well, we're somewhere safer.
Yeah, you find a few, alchemist books, different mixing of brews. We'll say you find 2 of them, and you find one book with a few pages ripped from it. Looks to be some sort of artificer instruction book.
To do what?
Looks like it's got a lot of engine creation and propulsion systems.
Arendelle, what do you make of all this?
You referring to the bodies or the books?
The bodies and the books. This is...
An amateur flesh crafter, most likely. Though given the particular talents with adamantine, I must say they were getting somewhere. Though, due to the amount of bodies, the style was quite cruel.
He says as he knows stuff about this.
I have not seen attempts between metal and flesh quite like this, and certainly not this world.
Neither have I.
Curious. We should not dally here. If the other order come looking for their scouting party, we may be faced with a bigger force.
Indeed. I suggest we make our departure.
I guess at this point we'll head up the stairs and to whatever Elle has been hinting at for a while.
Describe what they see when they walk upstairs, though.
The tent is shorter.
The tent is shorter?
Yeah.
What do you
And
mean?
there's a rat tail just like dangling down from one of the sides, like along the wall.
Wait, like the ceiling of the tent is lower?
Yeah.
Did you collapse the tent?
That's a good question. Did I?
What?
Just so the stairwell is under the bed, right? In the tent. So did we come up and like the tent's like collapsed on top of us?
No. No, there's still room. It's just a little smaller room.
As in the room visibly shrunk, or
Yeah,
it just
sort of
got
shrunk.
shorter?
You could say that.
Do I want to know what you did?
I suppose not.
In character?
Rat tail.
We seriously need to get this amulet fixed.
I'm kind of confused with what the visual is here. It's like the whole thing just shrunk down like a spell.
Yeah, the ceiling is lower. That's it.
So everything else is the same. Like the
Yeah.
width of the floor is the same. It just got shorter.
Yeah.
I'll look up at the rat tail. What are you doing?
There's an outline of a rat just laying on some cloth above.
Oh, she's laying on the roof of the tent and
Oh.
collapsed it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Now it makes sense.
Oh, I'll crawl. I'll leave the tent.
The hell are you doing?
Oh, the cloth peels back and you see the rat head just peer down at you. And then she just closes the lid.
Get ready, we're leaving.
What?
Abs look up.
Why? She hurls down, swings, and it appears to that she has made a hammock. Just a large hammock.
What
If
do
the
you
order-
think?
If the order comes back this way looking for their scouting party, we do not want to be here.
But it's cozy up there.
What is Druid doing right now?
I'm still a bear.
You're still a bear, just chilling.
But without my translator.
The translator, Marlena and Toonba have walked off, probably to go back to your old campsite.
Can we look over this, just like a quick scan, the camp, the bodies, anything of interest before we head back to camp? Just basically make sure we didn't miss anything of import.
I would imagine that this tent is now without cloth, but that's about it.
It looks like most of the notable items have been taken. There's a few swords and various weapons scattered around in the bodies that no one has taken. But yeah, it looks like everything of note has been acquired.
Your Stitch dog is gone, right, Arendelle?
Yes, it has been liquefied.
Okay. As we're starting to head out, I'm just gonna have Homer double back a little bit and just do some damage to the tents with his claws, just to make it seem like maybe an animal might have come through here. It's not gonna be super convincing, but just at least some
Perhaps we
sort
should
of.
have the.
I scratch my head as I watch what's happening.
Oh yeah, the bear. I don't know if you can understand Druid, but can you maybe look like a bear attack came through here instead of, well, us?
So I didn't really understand her, but I saw Homer do it, so I just did the same thing. I got the basic idea of it. So you just see me scratching at the tents.
It's like a big dog.
Hopefully, the orders, as dumb as they are in the future.
I'm sure they will see through that, but it might just buy us a little bit of time.
But better.
Let us return to camp.
Let's.
Does anything
Bada bing,
happen?
bada boom. Spell done.
Sorry, go on.
Does anything happen, or do we make it back to our own camp? Okay.
As opposed to like, just like huddling down as I keep walking in a straight line.
I was muted. You guys make it back to camp successfully. It is very cold and it is a very treacherous trek. However, it is very dark. The wind is blistering. I need survival checks from whoever's in front to make sure you can lead back to camp safely.
Bear.
Oh, there.
I go in front.
Brr.
Survival.
I like to imagine the bigger person's leading anyway, so we can get like less wind resistance on us.
We're using Druid as a
Druid,
windbreaker.
what is your survival modifier?
+8.
Definitely higher
Plus
than my
8?
plus
Okay,
4.
that's the same as mine.
Do I roll a d20 still?
Yes, you roll a d20 and add that +8 to your roll.
Oh shoot. Okay. 15.
It's not bad.
No, that's good.
That's an above average roll.
Make it back to camp safely.
Restart the.
I sneeze loudly.
Actually, Arendelle, you have fire magic, do you not?
Yes, I will begin the ritual once more to make this place not a frozen wasteland.
And I will perform the same spell that I did beforehand with the altered wither and bloom.
Are you ritually casting?
Yes.
Okay.
It will take about 10 minutes, so just it won't be as quick as me tossing out motes of energy like last time. I'm gonna take my time with it because I'm running low on energy.
And as he's casting this, it's quiet in the camp. You hear shrieks and howls and guttural sounds coming from all over around you, deep within the forest, from behind where you walked. You hear the ice lake next to you kind of creaking and cracking as probably some huge creatures or a lot of creatures are moving in unison, cutting through this kind of almost ice water, but not quite. You guys are all sitting there. What's everyone doing?
What found down below?
A forge.
Oh,
Working with very rare expert craftsmanship materials. And
oh, I understand. And I hold up an ingot of adamantine.
precisely. There are also quite a few bodies down there.
How does work? And I like put the dagger like onto the fucking adamantine. Just like tab it.
It requires high heat to melt the metal down into a liquid, where it can then be
Which
forged.
we do not.
I look at the ingot.
possess.
This liquid?
It requires a great amount of skill and heat.
Huh.
Dragon's fire would be preferred, but seeing as this world seems to have a significant lack of said thing, that's going to be difficult.
El wish I could get bullets.
Perhaps when we get back to our ship, we can get our own forge situated to create bullets. Should not be terribly complicated, although your black powder would be of more concern.
El realized need to train with new weapon. But feeling a little down. Maybe sick.
You feel ill?
Cold. By that I mean I have 10 HP, and I just took frostbite damage, man.
I will... Do you have the skin that you lent me?
I gave to little Birdman. Captain.
I'll see that,
And he gave that to Oogie.
yeah, where their Toomba is. I'll go talk to Toomba real quick and get the fur back.
He's
He doesn't need
asleep.
it.
So you take it off his sleeping body.
His rotten cool.
Yeah, he doesn't, because he doesn't need the blanket, and if Elle's freezing. And I'll drape it over Elle's shoulders, and I'll give her a second level cure wounds.
Perfect.
Talk a little closer and look up at you. And smile a little. Like, there's almost like a childish flair over this. Like little exchange.
Well, as long as you're not running around interrupting my concentration, I don't care.
10? Ooh, thank you.
Yeah, that was not a good roll. And
Oh.
then is it? Oh, I guess I cast a spell. DM, is that a D20 still, or is that a?
No, that's combat. It's different.
It's
So
not
it's
a
a
D20,
D100.
it's a D60.
It's the D60.
Oh yeah, you
Six
changed
to something
that, right?
else completely.
Okay.
Oh, wait, then we don't have D100s.
No
Yeah, you
longer.
gotta roll a virtual D100.
All right, I got.
Ew.
All right, I'll roll my D10s.
Oh shit, where?
It
I got a
is
D100.
0. Double 0 is a 0, right?
That's 100.
Yeah, that was
I think
that's
not
100.
this- Not in this case, because otherwise he's rolled 102. I think I rolled a 2.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
Oh, sorry, yeah. My 10s is a 0, So I rolled a
Yes.
2.
Yes, okay. The only time it's a 100 is if you get 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
You rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Everyone in the party, your weapons and ammunition become coated in sparkling seafoam, granting a +1 to all attack damage for the next hour.
What the hell?
I open my my flintlock and I look at this.
Just full bowls.
Huh?
My dagger just looks like it got out of a shampoo bath. What the hell?
Bernadette, what do you do?
At this point, I have no idea. Give it some time. It will clear away like all the other magical effects so far.
Oh,
I say as I finish my ritual incantation and the temperature begins to rise steadily.
so I'll understand not curse anyone, but are all us cursed?
In what way?
I notice only effects affect us, not other people.
We don't exactly belong in this timeline. That could be a cause for it.
Good guess.
That is a good point, though, El. Perhaps this is a way of, as you said, Arendelle, this timeline trying to reject us. Although the effects have not been
Please.
terribly harmful.
I'll cast my hands up to the sky and look up. Please reject us a little bit faster so we can go home. I hate it here.
How we get here? I'll remember big red eyes underwater. But nothing. She like tilts her head a little bit.
Bernadette, roll history.
Ooh, there's my bad roll. 7. 2 + 5.
How knowledgeable is Bernadette? Does Bernadette read a lot of books?
I would say so. She read a lot of storybooks growing up. I would imagine that would carry over into adulthood. She's more into like fairy tales and like history, but I don't see why not.
One of the Artificer book that you have, the one about engines and propulsions that you found, has the name of the author imprinted on the front cover.
Okay.
And it's by a very renowned artificer named Tweedle. And that's who wrote this book. It is a modern day author who's still producing.
I would say as we're having this conversation, like Bernadette has like she's starting to sit down and take out all the stuff that we've collected, trying to figure out what she's gonna do next to look at this. And she'll see this book and that author and do a double take. So I know this is a modern
Yeah,
engineer.
you like actively are reading his new works sometimes.
Yeah. That would make sense, especially between her and Barnabas. I'll stop and I'll stare at this and interesting.
What is?
I was wondering why the Order would have a need for such advanced engines, mechanics. This is... I remember when this book was published.
It from our world.
Just like the coins.
Yeah, hold up a coin. Yeah.
We have, Oogie and Riven with us still, right?
Arendelle, I'll remember word you said. Converge. Convergent. What was word?
Convergence.
Maybe Order also stuck here. Like us.
You think that the Order that we are fighting is the same as our timeline?
It makes sense with clues.
Unlikely. The local population seems to be very well aware of the Order's existence.
Or, she looks around a little bit. Maybe, coins not implemented everywhere yet.
We did find more of our timelines, coins, and the chests. You are correct.
As they're talking to you, Bernadette, that journal you found is really calling to you.
The one I can't read.
Yeah.
I'll look back at it. I thought I had comprehend languages, but I don't think I do. I guess I'll start with the lock on it, since we can't currently read the cover.
Punch it, see if it breaks.
How long gonna stay, Bear?
It is a bit off-putting to see a giant white bear just sitting next to me.
Yeah, you usually eat those.
Wait, what?
What, you don't eat bear?
No.
A delicacy.
Huh.
I don't understand what
You
Elle's
never
saying,
tried?
but I feel a little bit threatened.
So DM, I pull out my lock picks and I attempt to pick the lock, and I rolled a 23.
Yeah, the lock easily snaps open. And you notice that the writing on the cover and the writing on the first page are different. What languages do you speak?
Just common and orc.
Well, it is written in common.
Okay.
And the date is the 12th day of the 3rd month of 2082, which is the current year that you were all in.
Right now, or where we were from?
When you set sail, it is the current year.
Going towards Bulgaria, yeah.
Yeah. Hit me that date again. This is the latest entry or the first entry?
It is the second month, the 12th day, 2082.
12th day, 2082. Okay. And you said this was the last entry, the most current entry, or the first entry?
It's the first entry.
All right, I'm just gonna start reading through this. Who is this for? Who's this person?
It's notes from, it looks like the kobold. He's addressing himself. This journal starts back, when he first set out on his journey of working with experimentations. He appears to be some sort of biochemist for the Order, an acolyte. He serves under a tutor who goes by the name Stormcaller. He has been tasked with finding a suitable line of defense for the Order to use in sieging parties. And he found that it's best to use those who are already deceased because they are always in large quantity. By creating some sort of adamantine skeleton, he feels like he can create this walking line of defense for the sieging parties to then storm beaches and take out their enemies.
Speaking of bear, anyone got food?
I don't need it, so I didn't bring it.
The captain.
Shapeshift back.
Yeah.
I feel very threatened.
The captain had food. Look at this. What is the adamantine armor that we have? Does it look similar to Knott's armor?
Very much so. Except Knott's isn't made of adamantine. His looks like it's made out of steel.
But it wouldn't be much of a leap to determine that Knott might have been a prototype, or that the inspiration for why they're doing this.
Possibly.
Arendel's just currently fixated on his spellbook, which is floating in front of him.
To this point, the spell goes out. The camp starts to warm up a bit as the snow that is about shin height slowly starts to dwindle and dissolve, revealing the frozen tundra beneath.
Elle looks extremely satisfied at this.
I'm gonna flip to near the end of the journal, trying to see how this kobold got here. Those notes.
The journal stops on the 5th month on the 3rd day, 2 days before the incident with the creature with the red eyes.
5th month, what day?
Or 2 days after the incident with the creature with red eyes. I apologize, I misspoke.
Okay, what day was that? 5th month, what day?
The 3rd day of the 5th month, 2082.
And that's our standard timeline, like before we got shunted back.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've all been traveling together for almost 3 months. Then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What does it say?
Well, 3 months since the first of you have been arrested, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arundel's relatively new, comparatively speaking.
Arundel never got arrested.
You can assume you're not in an alternate timeline at all.
What?
Yeah. The times line up with when your ship hit this frozen tundra and whatever this journal is saying.
So this journal has no mention.
I'm gonna see if I can like read Bernadette's expression as he reads this.
This journal has no mention of any time warps or anything.
At least I don't think we're in woe anymore.
You can assume you're on some sort of undocumented island.
But we're also out there sailing still, so are we in two places at once?
And there's no sea around here.
And you assume what you experienced before was a glimpse into the future rather than an alternate timeline.
Nice job patching out the plot holes.
I don't know what you're talking about. This has been a thing. The wild magic you rolled to put this over table gave you guys a view into the future by 15 years. It was a wild magic effect. And you guys have been chasing this red herring for the last 3 sessions.
I was level 7 in 10 years. No.
Wait, how did we get weaker then?
Every D&D player for real.
That is what the 100 was a view into the future, and you guys.
Oh my!
Back. You assume you're in the same day and age. From reading this journal, you also understand the people on this island probably have little to no contact with the outside world of woe, except for the Order, who have found this place and are probably mining it for its materials.
But didn't not Alcard. Yeah.
You're just yanking us back and forth.
Yeah, didn't he mention that he loved watching history repeat himself?
Did the devil
lie.
sow some seeds of chaos in the party? Possibly.
Yeah. Huh.
But it's at this moment, as you're flipping this book, this all clicks in your head, Bernadette.
Okay.
Like, can I read your expression at all?
You
What expression?
Yeah, she's not very expressive, but you do see that she would freeze a little bit, and you see her eyes kind of dart a little bit as if she's reading the same thing over and over and over and over again. And she'll finally we thought that we were somewhere else.
Speak up.
I tilt my head.
According to this, we did not go anywhere. We are still in woe.
Oh yes, that was established.
It is still 2082.
So whoa.
This kobold makes no mention of.
Druid, what did you say?
I said, what's a whoa?
This Druid says, what's a woe?
Yeah.
What's the row?
This. What? I'll look to Druid. What do you call this world?
Yeah, what do I call this world?
I don't know, what do you call it?
Oh, I can make up.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably all.
This is your moment.
That's-
This is your moment. Go
That's
with the
me,
badass name.
DM.
It's me? Also, that's
You know, Blizzard's Rest is a part of it, so.
Just don't call it Winter Carnival, or I will actually.
Did you say winter carnivore?
Don't call it Winter Carnival.
Our world is called Winter Carnival.
I throw a shot.
What did you expect?
Don't do the thing.
Did you say carnival?
Yes.
Carnivore. Oh, carnival or carnivore?
Carnival, like the place you go to get waffles or whatever those things are, the elephant ears.
And experiences,
Carnival?
like roller
Someone
coasters and
felt
such.
very unique and called it Winter Carnival.
I not like
More
carnival.
questions.
You just accepted this?
You've never heard of Winter Carnival in your life, Bernadette. The map that Toonba showed you didn't necessarily seem ancient. It seemed like it was recently printed. Everyone here that you've met so far has worn furs, and no one seems to own a ship.
There was the
Some of the
shopkeeper who
Modern weapons don't look like they've been adopted yet.
he knew there was an island called Half Patch, which I mentioned. So it's not cut off from the world.
It is just extremely isolated.
Perhaps.
So
I
we
hate
are,
third world countries.
so we are not in another timeline at all.
We never left.
Holy shit! I had the answer all along, and I never connected it. Oh my
We
god!
actually were just tossed thousands upon thousands of miles in a random direction by a giant sea squid. That makes
Oh!
sense.
Oh, that happened.
Bernadette actually like slumps a little bit and just seems as relieved as she can.
Angel, you roll a history check for me too.
I will roll a history check for you. History's a +8. That's a 24.
You know when that murder comet collided with the planet of Woe, breaking, almost shattering in a cataclysmic explosion, causing this titanic tidal wave to zoom towards the ship, there was definitely a huge release of arcane energy, the effects of which probably unpredictable. Could explain the reason your ship ended up 1,000 miles from its current position. And that's when that thought of that chaotic evil alignment as you saw that rock smash into the water graces your memory.
But why is it on my amulet? What? Okay, that's. I'm tossing and turning, man.
Elle, roll a history check.
Yeah, that's not something I'm good at. I could barely remember where the fuck we were.
DC's 5.
Okay, 16. I got a -1.
You know that so far on this island, the use of any magic that's not a ritual, whether that be through magic item or mundane casting of spells, as long as it's not a cantrip, seems to have some sort of effect with the environment nearby. When you used your amulet at that point in time, it possibly sparked this future glimpse that everyone got to experience. And slowly, together, as you're all sitting around the cold campfire, the pieces start to connect.
Can we get off?
Ship was landlocked, was it not?
We were on a beach.
We need help pulling. But how?
The
Should we give up on
druids
Turtle?
And the druids seem to be able to turn into giant flying birds, so they
Stonebird.
might be able to. Yes, rocks. They might be able to assist us with moving our vessel back into waters.
If
But
we
I
can-
doubt they'd help us until we help them.
That
if we
true.
can give them information about this invasion. They can help us get our ship back in the water.
I think we need to see King to explain.
Well, Theo already gave us a task to come out here. We should finish that job.
We already have a lead. We just need to follow up on it in the morning.
I'll predict King wants another favor.
You referring to the Druid King?
Yeah.
I believe that's a title referred to as Archdruids.
If we are, he sent us out here to solve what is happening with this order invasion. If we are able to help in this matter, I think that is a debt well paid for simply moving a ship.
So we out here to figure out what they are up to?
We're here to gather information on the encroaching horde of Order.
I wish I had more gunpowder.
I wish you had more gunpowder too. Oh, wait. You tried to detonate it all, trying to kill all three of us.
Because of you!
What?
Back when the wild magic surge occurred where we seemed to switch personalities, she tried to kill herself by detonating all of her entire stockpile of gunpowder.
Because he lured me into a trap. And
That you
not.
could have walked out of.
I thought you were to kill me.
Why would I kill you after helping you? That doesn't make any sense.
You just said I shouldn't trust weird, like, devil guy.
Yes.
And not said he hoped not to kill me. What
Because
do you
we
think
thought
I
you
expect?
were possessed. Expect as you wish. It's in the past.
We all, and Bernadette stands up at this point, sets the book off to the side, had a conversation about trusting one another to survive what we will have to face.
I snap my fingers. I not like
Yeah.
Arendelle, she repeats. Going by what she meant last time. This is it.
You immediately lured a fellow party member into a trap, looking at Arendelle. And your reaction was to kill all three of you. Right after we had conversation about relying on one another.
Her gaze turns away as well when she's addressed.
I had hoped that she would have been, as you say, more trusting of the situation, though I understand
Why?
the fear she might have had.
Why would she trust you when you attacked all of us in an alley mere hours before? You have done nothing to make us trust you, Arendelle.
Elle wants to trust, but he make it hard.
Joey's just to the side, listening to all the drama. Can I cast Godberry while everyone's very tense?
Godberry? Yes! Cast the gold berry!
I'm a demigod!
Raise his hands into the air, and then a giant fucking berry appears.
The Godberry or Goodberry?
Goodberry.
Good berry, but Godberry now.
You cast Goodberry successfully.
Okay, I'll
Fucking
just like
hilarious.
start
Oh my god.
start giving people some Goodberry, like distribute the 10 berries to everyone. Get your health up.
Feeding everyone.
Everyone's very tense.
I lay down on my stomach and like cuddle up by the campfire.
Are you planning to kill each other? Or divide yourselves until the order does it for you?
Elle had epiphany. Elle evade death a few times by now. Something not want Elle dead. L thinks higher power. Look over L. Maybe L has purpose.
Then for your sake, I do hope you stop attempting to throw it away.
She looks thoughtful, but doesn't say a word.
We have all cheated death. We have all been extremely lucky. That luck will not last. We must rely on one another. Whether we are trapped in the past as we believed, or even in the present where we are hunted. We saw what the Order can do. They do not care about life.
Oh, L, remember how I met you guys now. Poison. You save L.
We met on a prison ship. Or they might have used our carcasses. And I'll pick up the notebook as nothing more than siege machines. Perhaps it would benefit the both of you to bury whatever hatchet and mistrust you are forming between you, to not make the Order's job easier.
I look to Arundel.
You find a picture of the siege machines. I'm gonna send that to you right now, Bernadette.
Oh, look, Sparkle gone.
Yeah, I'm just staring at the book at this picture.
It's schematics, it's sketches and blueprints. He doesn't seem to have had any success yet. Oh, I'm getting a message. Aaron Dillon, your message, TBD.
Oof.
I don't know what that means, even if I knew
To be
the.
determined.
Oh. I'll notice. What you called? And I point to Druid. You quiet.
Know much about your world, so I can't really say.
But we same world.
Oh. Outside Carnival, it's confusing to me.
Tilt my head. You see, what Captain called again?
Bernadette, roll history.
A cook.
Oh, what?
A cook.
Chicken? This is exactly what I had in my imagination. That's a 2 on the die. It's a 7.
Answer L. A
The
cook.
similarities are hard to ignore, but it's possible it could be something else. What is everyone else doing around the campfire? It's getting late. You guys are starting to think about taking a rest soon. Arundel, that clamp around your arm has never felt so cold as it freezes directly to your bone. The cold wind, every time it hits it, sending a jolt of shock down through your skeleton, almost as if your skeleton is screaming out to be let out. as the whining of the wind is mixed with your internal howls and begging for release.
Arendelle just uses that pain to keep himself awake and focused on concentrating that spell.
The spell holds. It's taken root. Is the party choosing to rest on this night?
Not yet.
Not yet, but yes, we will.
But I'll wait till after everyone else is done. I think for now Bernadette will keep the page open to that picture, and she'll sit down just staring at it. But she's gonna fix Elle's necklace.
Oh, the thread around the amulet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Arendelle described it as leaking, so she's gonna try to fix it.
Wait,
I
my
can.
amulet's leaking? Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, is Arendelle, you described Elle's magical amulet as damaged and leaking, right?
It was cracked and it seemed to be
Oh.
leaving a trail, yeah.
Okay. Actually, I think I gave it back to Elle, so if she'll let me, I'll get it back from her and I'll work on it.
Okay.
And I'll probably do it until.
Sure, but why you want it as well?
Why do I want it?
Yeah.
Arendelle said it was broken.
Okay. You two do magic. I not understand very much, but I know few spells.
Elle, do you remember that conversation?
Which
It
one?
was before Marlena warned us of the Order attack. The three of us were speaking about your amulet.
When was?
We
Right.
just said when it was.
It was only less than an hour ago.
Oh.
We discussed your amulet. Arendelle believed it was leaking. That it was damaged.
Sure. Elle had a lot of
earlier-
mind.
You mentioned a few moments ago that we met when you were poisoned.
Yeah.
That is not when we met.
Oh? She sits up.
Is the necklace handed over?
Yeah.
You can see a very fine hairline fracture on the back of this locket, causing for what everyone's been saying is this leak.
Do you remember where we met, Elle?
Well, it was island, right?
We met on a ship.
Elle been to many ships.
We were met on a prison ship. You had been arrested.
Oh.
You remember murdering someone when we escaped the prison ship.
Might have?
Interesting. And I'll go back over to my area and start try to fix that amulet.
Turn to Arendelle. What is she saying?
She's saying you're losing your memory. Just very unnecessarily suddenly.
Oh. I look to my hair again and I find a gray strand of hair. Peel it off.
Ruby, I wish to inform you that I harbor no ill intent towards you. What I did was simply out of an act of concern. I apologize if I frightened you.
That sounds sincere. I believe
Because
you.
I don't lie.
But it's really hard to know. L not trust very easily, but you informed L of... L has been taught a lot by you.
Indeed.
She looks at you as if she just remembers that you're also Ripsley.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Maybe Bernadette right.
You'll need to be a bit more specific than that. She's often right.
How much do you know of Aurora?
What?
Aurora. She points to her chest. My kind.
Nothing. When I first met you, I thought you were a mutated rat.
Oh,
Or perhaps some very frail, malnourished were-rat, but you don't seem to have the curse of lycanthropy, so...
not know what that is, but yeah, sure.
Is there something you wish to tell me about your kind?
Before we go any further, I think I need to explain something. Aurora, black rats like L, only live to be about 30 years old. That means she's approaching her middle ages as it is. We not live very long. 30 years of lifespan, I think I was told. Been thinking about it a lot. How old is Arendelle?
Much older than 30.
Oh. I'm 16.
Is that so?
Yeah. At least think so. She like starts to count in her head and on her fingers. 3 months until birthday.
And then you'll be 17.
Jude, what are you thinking right now?
Right. God, you're muted.
Cold wind blows. Drifting snow. Distant howls fill the night air.
Oh, did we lose Druid?
I'm back.
You were asked how you're feeling.
Oh, sorry. I think it's something. What was the question?
Oh, it's just a
What is
DM.
Druid doing?
Oh, what am I doing? I mean, after I distributed the god berries,
The god berries have been distributed.
We all immediately regain all of our HP.
Canon, that's what they are now.
The char berries have been distributed.
Fuck you.
can I just look out into the wild? I feel like because they've known each other more. So I feel kind of everyone's talking to each other, so I feel like I should guard like the area like watch what's outside.
What perception for me?
Gotcha. See? Oh, that's cool. 23.
23. We'll say that you're kind of patrolling on the outside of camp when you see some dark shadows kind of moving between some of the trees. Possibly animals. You see two crimson eyes kind of staring at you from a distance as the light from the fire reflect off of it. They sit there just watching you patiently, not moving, like a predator waiting for its prey. It's around this time when Arendelle, you make your way over to Bernadette for some much needed conversations.
And to escape the awkward conversation with the rat.
Have I finished the amulet at this point?
Yeah, it only takes you a few minutes, a quick mend, and it's all good to go.
Okay, I'll say is I'll run to Arendelle's after I give Ella back the amulet.
I believe there's something you wish to discuss, Bernadette.
Well, I believe you were the one that requested a conversation.
While this conversation's going on, Druid, go and roll me a wisdom saving throw. And then we'll let this conversation continue. She'll roll it in a minute. Let you guys go. If not, I'll roll it for her.
If memory serves well, I believe you said you had questions for me. Questions that have been stockpiling for the past few weeks, in fact. So now would be as good a time as any to ask them. I'm an open book.
I'll gather up all the notebooks. And I'll pull out the one that started writing itself just about an hour beforehand. Is there anything new inside of it
Pages new.
that I still can't read? You were
Written in
afraid.
an unknown text.
You were afraid of this. Why?
Bernadette.
I don't open it. I just hold it up so you can see what it is.
Gotcha.
Does it still look like the book that I thought I annihilated?
It sure does. It looks exactly like that.
Anything that manages to put not only an elf of my stature, but also an undead creature to sleep is something worth being wary of. That is all I'll say about it.
Perception from both of you two. Passive. What is it?
Oh, 18.
14.
Okay. Continue on. Sorry.
Also, I don't like it when I lose control of something. Most certainly when that something is me.
I'll open the book, not facing him, but just so I can see into it. Do I feel like I have to make a saving throw?
No, you still don't understand the language, but the book feels different as you open it this time. You turn to the page it's actively being written on, and every time a new word forms, you almost feel like the weight of someone's hand pressing a pen against the page.
I gathered this book in an attempt to recreate the spell that put you to sleep in the event that you were a danger.
Fair precaution, seeing as I had a bit of an outburst yesterday.
I thought you were a god. But now I know that you are only a man.
A bit harsh in the description, but yes, I am no god.
An elf.
Most certainly not a god. Just immortal.
The band on your arm growing colder. As those words escape your lips, that shearing pain once again shooting through your whole body.
You'll see me lift my hand up to where you originally saw that band before I started to cover it up.
I don't believe I've heard of a god that is so easily contained, shackled and chained.
And yet, we saw one trapped in a rock, bound within the pages of a storybook.
The gods here are dragons, as far as I may have been able to tell. Lesser deities at best.
And then are they much different than the gods of our world? The ones
I haven't been able to read a lot of books, I'm afraid. Only been able to pick up on context clues. I'd need time to research.
Our homeworld that was unable to stop the darkness.
The gods in our world are fickle and don't like interfering very much. At least not directly, and certainly not as directly as the gods here do.
What is your intention now? Aside from the bond to your mistress, you are free to do as you must, but you stick around with us. Why?
Familiarity, understanding, perhaps.
And
I no
our
longer
pact-
see you as a means to an end, if that's what you're concerned about.
It is. We had a pact before.
Are you worried I still have power over you?
That you are a man, no. On the contrary.
Wanted to see if I could perceive it. Nah.
More than that, I have no desire to be your enemy. We made a deal, and you upheld your end of the bargain. It's as simple as that. You are by no means contractually obligated to do anything I say.
Like Elle's cage. I never had to in the first place, did I?
No. I've been told I'm very persuasive.
Do you plan on harming any of us?
Not unless it's in self-defense.
Those shadow creatures that you attacked us with. Your pain, your anger.
Not directed towards you.
There was one very similar in my workshop while I was working on this book. Was it you? Was it you?
It was a friend, not me.
Arendelle.
As far as I'm aware, I believe that friend of ours prevented you from having quite a bit of pain, as our ship took quite a beating.
Arendelle, there is only one person who would go out of their way to protect me like that. And I do not know where he is.
I'm not very fond of taking the words of higher beings or people who can overpower me, but I'd say that's when your family was taken away from you to somewhere safe. I believe that they truly are safe, at least for the time being.
Would you believe it?
I believe it, yes, but that doesn't mean I trust them.
Neither do I. Because of the magic within this book could overpower you. Perhaps maybe it could also overpower a dragon.
A normal dragon, perhaps, but again, these are
Or a blood
gods.
relation to a dragon.
Perhaps. Oh, if only the good doctor were here, we could test that theory. But he has his own demons to deal with.
Your creature that you created,
Which one?
the hound.
Oh, yes. What about it?
Where did you learn how to do that?
Self-taught.
Is
It's one of the first creations I've ever done in the realm of the arcade. Back when I was 30, maybe 40.
I have only met 4 necromancers in my time. Not many of them stitch like you do.
At this
It's
point,
simply
everyone in the camp notices that Druid is gone. Possibly wandered off into the woods for a late night snack.
Where is Druid?
What would I be doing?
I do not know.
Elle is still by the fire, but she's just entertaining herself with some minor illusion spells, like making small snow castles and people walking amongst them and firing at it with catapults.
As far as I'm aware, druids in their natural habitat, so if anything, they're fine on their own.
Not with the order so close around.
Fair. What's gotten you so curious about the hound?
I'll pull out the journal, the kobold journal. I need you to translate this.
What languages do you speak, Arendelle?
All of them in 10 minutes.
I hold out the book that you're afraid of. It's still closed. Before Marlena warned us of danger, this book began writing itself. It continues to write itself.
Based off of that knowledge, could I make an Arcana check to determine if this is like some kind of transcommunication book? Like one person could write in it and see the messages
like
that someone else writes in it?
Yeah, of course you can. You can definitely do that with an Arcana check.
I got a plus 11, so that's 18.
It does appear to be just that. However, the language, you're not sure yet of what it is.
Bernadette, I feel the need to ask. You haven't been writing in this book, have you?
At this point, the book is filled up to about 8 pages.
Do you think I would damage the magical artifact I was studying?
That's not what the artifact is intended for. This is a two-way communication. If you were to write in this book, we would lose any element of surprise over whoever is on the other end.
I have not written anything.
Good.
The text that was in before became blank and inert, erased itself, and began rewriting in this language I do not understand.
Do I still sense that magic that put me to sleep in this book?
Sure don't.
I don't believe it was the book that managed to put me to sleep last time. Perhaps it was the stone.
Unfortunate.
That 10 minutes has passed.
As my eyes begin to have little sigils traced around the retinas, my eyes begin to glow a faint bluish hue, and I begin to translate.
Which one?
Well, the only one we can't read so far is the storybook, right?
Also
'Cause
can't read the cover of the Kobold's journal.
I guess the Kobold journal first. Let's say on the front, because that's just the front of it.
It's written in Infernal.
I know Abyssal. Fuck you.
And it says Bobby's journal.
Well, no, hold on. Abyssal is written. Infernal is text is in Abyssal.
Then you can read it. It says Bobby's journal.
Like Bobby as in Bobby, or Bobby as in like Baba Yaga.
Bobbi.
Oh.
Boby.
Oh, it's
Exotic.
Who the hell is
Says-
Bobby?
It says Bobby's journal.
I'll just hand him the other one without much expression.
Right.
If it puts you to sleep, I will wake you back up.
I'd appreciate that.
This book, it's quite odd. It's written in Sylvan. However, whoever's writing is obviously not writing in Sylvan on the other end. It looks like whatever is written in this book is translated to Sylvan, because some of like the words and verbiages don't match up. It's like you're Google translating this whole book. But it seems to be a record of every day that's passed, and it's kind of getting filled in. You know, day one, got the family secured, made sure that they were safe, got the husband a job. And as you're reading this more, I need an investigation check.
Wait, is this about Barnabas and
25.
From the context clues that are written and what is being written, you can assume this is Patches's journal that is getting transcribed.
fucking knew it?
Isn't she? Didn't someone tell us that she was dead?
15 years.
When did you say you got this book?
Not told you she was dead.
This is the storybook that put you to sleep. I found the remains of it on the ship.
Yes,
while you were
but
sleeping.
where did we get that book to begin with? It was in the chest of the ship, right?
Yes. With some
And
knots
not
of belongings.
not was on the ship before, and not was sailing with Patches, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Well,
Why?
we have some good news and bad news. Which would you like to hear first?
And it's when he says this, you see Druid slowly walking into camp.
I look over.
A rope around her neck as she's being guided by two Shadarkai.
Oh,
One of them has a spear to her neck.
What are
No,
those?
we cannot have an hour of peace, can we?
What the heck is a shadow? What?
It's what
Oh,
Arendelle is.
Except not dead.
Can I make a minor illusion just to make it look like I'm
They-
covered in snow so nothing like is perceived?
They aren't dead yet.
They don't seem to be aggressive.
They just have a rope and a spear up to Druid.
Yeah, it's definitely a hostage type scenario, but they don't seem to be aggressing at all. They haven't even spoken. It's just as the light flickers.
I'll slowly close the book and hand it back to Bernadette as I'll rise up to my full height.
It all goes into the bag of holding.
Once they get to camp, they stop. The rope tugs on your neck, Druid.
Hey everyone! Funny story. I was trying to figure out what the Red Eyes people were.
And you investigated
And
them without coming back to us first.
Well, you see, I was really curious and you guys look really busy.
Are you
I
hurt?
thought it was... No.
If she was hurt, if they were hurt, they'd be dead.
That's true. I would have turned into another bear.
No, you would be dead.
No, I feel like they would be dead. But anyways... Are they still just like listening in?
They haven't said anything
There.
yet, but they're both staring daggers at Arendelle.
Are you more assassin sent by the court to kill me, or do you have another purpose for wasting my time?
We're messengers.
Then speak.
The Queen wishes to renegotiate.
I thought the Queen doesn't negotiate to begin with.
She doesn't. She wants something, and you have it. She is coming.
It's more like a warning more than a request.
They start to slowly fade into the darkness. You see the taut rope slowly start to slack and drop.
Whoa, okay, naked men. Oh dear.
This is not real.
Phew! That was crazy. Anyways, what was that all about?
That is my problem that I need to deal with.
Your problem has just become everyone's problem.
Not if I take it away from here.
A pistol just from the snow.
I do not expect any one of you to join me in this renegotiation, as she so eloquently put it. So, I would ask you all to remain here where it is relatively safe compared to where I'm about to go.
Arendelle, what did we just discuss?
Are you
Arendelle,
implying that you trust me enough to face my greatest demon? Someone that could quite literally wave her hand and make you cease to exist?
so why hasn't she done that to you?
Because I managed to take something that she wants. And she knows that if she kills me, she can't have it.
But why he... Okay.
She doesn't like losing, and I made her lose.
And if you travel to her alone, do you really believe you will be able to travel back?
Not to be rude, Bernadette, but what exactly do you believe you can do in this situation? All you would be doing is risking yourselves. You don't need to do that. You have a family to go back to. I don't.
I'm aware of that.
This is Elle's family.
But do you think that you can handle this alone?
Before, and all it took was me getting enslaved. I will not force you to stay, but I will not ask you to go. Make your decisions now, for we have little time remaining.
I come.
Roll religion.
I don't have any good modifiers with that except just my intelligence, I don't think. Where is it? How hard is it to find the... Oh, 5. Okay, so 17.
You know, you do not establish this connection. It establishes itself. This could happen at any time. Future, in a few seconds. The waiting is the most horrendous part.
You would like to make me late. I cannot say when this meeting will occur, but it will. Most certainly sometime soon. If not tonight, tomorrow. Perhaps the day after. All I know is that it will occur after sundown. She never did like the sun.
Druid, might I advise you do not travel on your own? There are
Sorry
many
about
things in this woods that wish to kill us that you may or may not be familiar with.
Oh yes, I
Since
believe
I'm
you
not-
called it the body system. Quaint but effective.
Trick used for children.
Is everyone staying up for the night?
I
It's
will
getting
be since I don't sleep. but
Almost
I
to the
will-
point of no return.
Yeah.
I will be remaining on guard. Just getting my 4 hours of eye-open meditation.
I'm not quite done talking with Arendelle, but I'll keep it brief.
Gotcha. Elle wish she had tent.
Could have brought one.
As you see the tents that are all set up. in your
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah, but it's... Oh, in the camp. Okay.
Yeah, everyone set up their tent when we
Okay.
first got here.
Well, if there's an empty one, I'm gonna go in there.
No, that's my tent. Go to the other
Oh, but
one.
please! It's cold!
The other one is bigger.
I don't need bigger.
Do as you wish.
She looks a little to and from, not sure what to do now. But he seemed to want her to go to the other one, so she does, eventually.
Swear. Was there anything else you wish to discuss?
Good night.
Good night.
Not tonight. But at some point. Our transition to WoW destroyed my spellbook. I would like...
Is the world itself actually called WoW?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I would like your assistance remembering who are able to cast many of the spells that came so easily to me.
Are you asking for a tutor? I never was the best at teaching, but I can tell you what I know. You wouldn't happen to have a blank spellbook on you, would you?
It is not blank. I'll pull out what I've been using as a spell book, and it looks like it almost looks like rolls of cloth more than a book, I would say. It kind of looks like the writing is almost like on the writing on silk.
Okay. Pulls out this scroll-like object.
Oh, well, no, damn it. I say as I start to unfurl it. You have a lot of catching up to do, that's for certain. But I will help. If only to gain your trust.
Certainly no ulterior motives.
You will be paying for the material components.
When I'm able to, yes.
Good.
I have not had money since the prison ship.
That is true. Hopefully, after completing this job, we'll get some form of income.
I think that's it. I think Bernadette will spend some time trying to remember some old spells that she used to know.
Yeah. So we'll say you go to bed, kind of doing some stuff. Make a history check.
I have some things I would like to do as well.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
Oh, this is 17 on the die, so 22. 17 plus
You sit
5.
there trying to remember those spells. You remember Find Familiar. It was something that you used to love to cast.
I currently can cast Find Familiar, so I got Mittens back.
You also remember Witch Bolt, something you used to love to cast.
That is true. You had an unnatural attachment to that mediocre spell.
I still have that spell. No, I'll send you the list of the spells I'm working on today. But
You also remember that book you found. And that draw is ringing in your ear. That picture was too close to what you know.
I'll say as she's working on the I'll say probably the Wither and Bloom spell. Every time he starts going over the necrotic runes on it, she just
Flashbacks in your head.
I'll say Arendelle, you see she's trying to trace them, like you can see the runes appearing in the air. And then like she's not putting anything in the spell book, but like tracing it in the snow, in the arcane sigils in the air. And you see she keeps messing them up. They're still necrotic, but they're different. And the whole spell just continues to fail.
If you'd like a point of reference,
I'll gesture towards the 6 rooms that are surrounding our camp and the master room that's in the center.
this spell I created is a bit of an offshoot of that, but it's the same general concept.
I am familiar with Wither and Blue. I believed it was an easy spell for me to replicate. But she'll go into her bag and she'll pull out the book. And she'll open it to the picture. I'm just gonna post the picture in the group chat.
Okay.
She holds up. Do you care where I put it, DM?
I don't care where you put.
Put it in general for now.
Are you making any other rolls while you have this book out?
Could I make well, no, she'd have to make the roll, but could I give her advantage on an Arcana check to see if she can attain a grasp of that spell?
Sure.
I,
For a super inspiration.
Fuck you.
yeah, so
I have expertise in Arcana. I should be able to help her with this.
No, I'm kidding.
I say you hold it for now because, like, narratively, I'm trying to relearn a 3rd level spell using, but it should be half speed because of or twice as fast with since it's a necromancy spell. But you see, she pulls out open the book, the Kobold Journal, and opens it up to this picture that is posted in the general chat. It looks like a large behemoth with made out of flesh with exposed bone across the spine, chest cavity, and the upper arm. And the head is this open skull with glowing eyes underneath and a skeletal jaw with this jagged teeth. And you can see the construction of it is very similar to Homer. But this has much more flesh on it.
I can assume your designs for Homer were not public.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Like Homer or this?
Like this? And she'll tap on the picture.
Cool history check, Arndo.
$21.
You remember that damn robot in High Pass?
God damn it! I forgot.
That's all you got.
No.
That's
Fuck
all you
you.
can. That's all you can reference to this creature, a humanoid-like object that's machine, not man. You remember it whooping your ass for hours.
Fuck you.
And the townspeople watching and gawking.
That is not how that went, and you
Someone
know
even
it.
someone made a shirt depicting you getting your ass whooped.
I cast Fireball in the Dungeon Master. Make a deck save.
Nat 60. Oh, actually, that was a nat 20.
The fuck it was.
It really was.
Anyways, you still take half damage, and since you have a commoner stat block, you instantly die.
It's fine.
Alright,
Kill the
anyways.
Dungeon Master. Who want to take up the new Dungeon Master role? Who want to run
Anyways,
Chice games?
I'll take a closer examination at the creature that you showed me on this book.
None that I'm quite too familiar with, but it does dredge up some unfortunate experiences in my past. That's the reason I don't like automatons.
I have seen this creature before.
And where might that have been?
His name was Veal. He was a creation.
A creation of whom?
He was my, I suppose, brother would be a term.
I just look at the sketch and I look back at you.
My
No.
father's best creation before me.
Creation. I thought there was something off about you. You weren't born, were you?
That's
as you were.
personal?
Not as you were. But I was born. Just not of woman.
You wouldn't happen to know your father's name, would you?
I do not. My childhood is, I would imagine, like most memories are old, fuzzy, difficult. I only knew father as father. I do not even know what he looks like, other than he was tall. I believe slender of frame, but I do not know. My childhood home was often very dark. It was difficult to see in the dark.
No, never mind. Forget I asked.
Your Stitch Hound.
Early creation of mine, yes. One I was just so happened to be able to replicate to a much more terrifying degree. My original was quite frail. Cute even.
You did not learn that from somewhere.
No. Like I said, I was self-taught.
Did you show anyone?
Roll a persuasion check.
Ooh.
That's an interesting concept.
Ooh, not good. No, it's a 4. No bonuses.
It's getting late, Bernadette. I think that we should save this conversation for when we're less fatigued. Perhaps in a more private locale.
Who's taking first watch tonight?
I'm taking all the watches. I don't sleep.
Perfect. Where's everyone sleeping tonight?
Big
Inside
tent.
a tent, outside.
Inside.
I will be hovering directly above where the fireplace is at the center of the camp.
Perfect. I need everyone.
Finally, the
Roll
D60. Yes.
Sorry, can I just do
Oh, is that
one?
what it is?
55. Hell yeah.
Okay.
I hope big number is good because it wasn't.
Wild
It's
magic.
not. Big number is not good in earlier editions.
I
So,
need to.
what were we rolling again?
A
The
D60.
D60.
How do I do that?
You don't have the D60?
There's an online dice roller where you can roll a D60.
Oh, so I'm just going to Google. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it should roll the as soon as you search it, but I roll it again just to be safe.
Or you can roll 60 tens.
As we're waiting for
43.
What's up, Bernadette?
It's just the last thing. As she's going over to wherever her tent, you said you could read the journal.
Yes.
What is it? Says,
Well, I have no concrete evidence, but I believe it is Patch's journal.
and
If you wish,
I'll hand the book back to you.
I believe you might have a few questions for him.
another spell. Then I will need your tutelage for. No. That's it. I'll go to sleep.
Sleep well, Bernadette.
When I call your name, just let me know what you rolled. We're gonna do an individual scene with everyone, but since I know what you rolled, and you're on the first watch, I'm gonna roll a few dice.
55 D10 psychic damage. I explode. Fuck. She would do that.
That sore-losing bitch. She can't take it that I beat her in a game of cards.
Is that really how you got your soul back?
No,
As
it was a game of chance.
you're sitting watching, you watch as the snow starts to build up outside of your camp, drifting over to only be dissipated by the heat and the warmth from the spell that you've cast. You see the shadows dancing between the trees. You see the smoke off in the distance, up in the mountains. Your destination may be a day or two out of sight. You see scurrying wildlife in the form of foxes and rabbits hopping through the trees. But it's quiet. Very quiet. Not outside, but inside. You have a moment to yourself. You have a moment to think.
Spinal cord. Guess even the dead need their rest. Just leave me alone. I don't understand. You're gone. I don't need you anymore. Yet you persist. Like a gnat.
Roll a d20 for me.
10. Was it like any modifiers on any of that, or is it just 5d20?
Give me one moment. I'm going through my list real quick.
Sounds like a chart, so no.
During this moment of respite, does the pain in my arm continue to throb on, or is it a little bit lessened?
It slowly starts to fizzle out as the snow starts to fade and blur as you know when you don't blink for a while and your eyes kind of glaze over, and for a moment you completely leave the woods, you completely leave the cold, and you find yourself in a dimly lit tavern. The words "The Crimson Chalice" inscribed above the bar as a very lively scene unfolds. The air is filled with a rich scent of ale and murmur and hushed conversations and laughter as the tavern's wooden beams are adorned with flickering candlelights. Patrons range from all different types. Rugged adventurer nursing tankards to traders haggling and people playing cards in the corner. At the corner table, you see a fiery red-haired sorceress named Vinna, sitting with her fingers traced in patterns around her goblet as she is watching and flirting with anything that moves. You find yourself nursing a hot cup of tea, your brow furrowed in irritation, not wanting to be here at all. Your long flowing robes adorned by your even longer and flowing hair, both caressing the perfect body. With each sip,
You won't let it go!
seems to grow as you're shooting your disapproving glances everywhere. Karma, of course, at the bar, hiding behind Vinna, with her mysterious hooded figure obscuring her face, stands by the bar unblinking, watching the commotion unfold. The presence almost seems ethereal as she's shrouded and almost lusting over someone that is on the other side of the bar. The center of the tension, everyone's gathered around and cheering as a long blonde-haired barbarian is arm wrestling an even larger bugbear, keeping her prim and proper look, but just there to win just a few coin for you to escape. Gazan gathers a crowd around to people to bet just a little bit more coin. And that's when your vision fades back in. The stinging in your arm intensified as the cold air blasts you in the face.
I know nobody's awake right now, but if anybody were to see Arundel's face, there would be a stream of tears running down his face. Not black tears, genuine tears.
God, that's a feeler.
But as soon as that feeling returns, the tears begin to
evaporate.
inky, become inky and thick, viscous as he wipes them off his face and prestidigitates his hands clean. God. I have to go to the shit.
WaWor, what did you roll?
43. That's a bunch of dice.
Yeah, it is.
You take that much damage.
I guess I'm dead. I'm already like at the lowest HP.
WaWor,
Greetings.
as you slowly slip off into a nice slumber, you find yourself at a tavern called the Rusty Bolt. A favorite tavern back in the day when you used to scamper around the harsh roads of Carson's. Not the best establishment by far, but a cheap one. You haggling with your best friend, a very well-dressed and well-groomed tabaxi. Talk about the next job that you're getting ready to go on. A local orphanage is doing a fundraiser. There's just gonna be a lot of coins sitting around, and no one's gonna stop you. As you sit there in the low candlelight of this shithole, you unroll this town map and you decide on which plans of entry you're gonna take. The plan goes off without a hitch. Your partner is in and out, and you kept everyone distracted. You find yourself going to the meeting point to split the cut, and they never show.
The clickety clacky gives me the endorphins.
Ominous.
Normally when I'm rolling that many dice, I'm on the other side of the screen. I don't like this.
This is like the things you hear when you play Shadowrun.
You just combust. You're dead. There is no saving throw. You are dead.
Your journey
Every
ends
year
here.
around this time, you and your family go on an outing together. Over the years, times have been rough. The war effort got your father to no longer be with you, and your mother died of old age. The only family you have left are your brothers. Your eldest brother is a lieutenant in the local guard. Sent off on a scouting mission a few days ago. And the fate befallen on your youngest brother to be dealt at the Hellhound. His entrails scattered in the streets. You can't shake that feeling of what it was to carry his lifeless body. Someone who didn't deserve this. Someone who was innocent and had a whole future ahead of them. Someone who you neglected to protect. You watch as those once icy, wintry streets slowly become molten magma, and you hear the screams of a million damned souls on the first layer of Avernus. A pit fiend with a large whip cracking it over these millions of slaves. You see your brother among them.
Womp womp.
Gabba, what did you roll?
Man, I don't want to go after that.
And where do you go after that? That's so weird.
24.
We got nightmares and Arendelle got a sad dream.
So you got, I'm guessing, a nightmare, a memory, and a dream.
You remember what it was like raiding that ancient tomb, fighting that hulking beast, only to narrowly escape and make your way back onto that cart where Barnabas showed you his true feelings. Waverly in the back, cutting in and making jokes, while him and Sasha do the unmentionable. You remember that whole evening, coming home to not be alone anymore. You remember what it was like for someone to care about you, something that you forever longed for. You remember the wedding day, how it was perfect. Barnabas crafted the rings by hand. To this day, he still says it's his greatest invention. Second greatest, after your darling daughter. You remember when she was born, and how everybody was ecstatic. Almost everybody. Barnabas forgot to mention his extended family. You remember the first time meeting Barnabas's father. You remember the anger he felt. You remember the disgust he felt towards you. A human, and not even a normal human at that. You haven't seen that much blood in a fight since that day. You remember escaping through the portal for you and Barnabas to start anew. You remember your life on Half Pass before Arendelle showed up. You remember how happy and at peace you were. You remember your greatest nightmare knocking on your door. You remember on the beach when you threw your whole life away. When you revived that stupid bag of bones, only for the Order to pull you onto their ship and destroy everything you created. You feel regret. You hear your father's voice echoing and wisping in the wind. You see that creation, and you know no one can design something like that. You remember Barnabas, old and gray, and Alex growing up without a parent. You remember failure. You can all take a long rest.
Okay.
Wow, I slept nice.
Wow.
I did not
Roots only has
sleep.
bloodshot eyes.
I was just depressed the entire night.
I was this fucking close to starting to cry. Well done.
I started crying for mine.
Yeah, Bernadette wakes up.
And roll
just-
perception.
Arendelle rolls protected. Arendelle has proficiency with perception. As a 22.
That smoke that you were looking up on the ridge seems a little bit closer today. Almost as if they're descending down the mountain.
I descend from my
hovering pedestal and ensure that the others are awake and inform them of the encroaching horde.
Elle is sitting in a tent, but she has her head in her hands, and she's leaning against the back of the tent.
We haven't much time. We need to go.
Doesn't give you any attention, but after a quick sigh, she moves out of the tent and packs her things.
What is everyone else doing?
Collapsing my tent so I can take it back with me.
Anyone traumatized?
Raise hand.
Not
Arendo's
traumatized, but there's definitely something else going on.
Arendo's already traumatized. Now he's just more depressed than he was when he went to sleep, or went to not sleep.
Let me out of here!
Fuck.
Get me out of here!
I forgot about that.
If you don't let me out, I'm gonna start throwing shit!
Shut the fuck up.
I can just imagine in a moment of weakness, he just takes control of my arm and punches me in the face.
Oh,
Oh wait, is that? Wait, was that Ripsley's scream? He let me out of here
Yeah.
in
Yes.
your head.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was the two prisoners you still have. Oh, that's even more fucked up. Oh my god,
Wait, what? Who
We
do you
still
think it
have it.
was?
the two prisoners that we have because the fucking satyr.
They don't
wants to
sound
call
like that.
No.
In my
Isn't
head?
one of them wanting to go home?
Yeah. we kind of just forgot about him overnight.
I just imagine they immediately went to sleep, or they were talking with the people who happen to not be here.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, they're talking with them.
I think Brenda probably woke up a little bit early, considering her dream. She had started working on it before the first attack, but I think at this point she'll finish it. It's not super detailed, but she has 2 small wooden figurines that she just tucks into her bag that she's
Yeah, of course you can finish that.
Could we say over my shift that I managed to transcribe 2 scrolls into my spellbook?
Sure. What scrolls?
Indivisibility and Raised Dead.
Perfect. They're in there.
Let me add to my collection. Just beginning to grow.
Until I get it.
Who else is up?
At this moment, Elle is wandering over to Melina's tent, and she sees the axe outside, so she takes it. And then she goes back to her tent and just swings at it wildly.
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, she just keeps going. It's just crushed. And then she webs her forehead and looks at it.
What were you swinging at?
Just the tent that I was sleeping in.
Oh. Yeah, the tent is successfully destroyed.
Yeah. Give it one last swing and sigh out loud and go back to where I picked it up and put it back.
Is it assumed you guys are all collecting up camp to start moving on?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you all do this, camp is packed up into bundles and bags. You leave a note for Marlena and Toonba and the others to join you when they're ready.
Oh, I assume we travel together. I don't think we split.
They are walking very far behind, slow.
Sure. Yeah.
They are the auxiliary group right now.
They are.
NPC to find. It kind of just
Marlena keeps seeing shiny things, and Toonba has to keep going to stop her.
There we go.
Yes.
Tuba's on
that's
babysitting
good.
duty.
That is good.
But knowing what we know
Towards
now,
the smoke, away from the smoke.
Towards.
The
Our
rat
job
is-
to investigate.
Yeah, and
Sure.
as we're traveling, I'm gonna step up next to Druid and have a conversation.
Proceed.
Did you sleep well last night, Druid?
Druid kind of stares into the distance, or at least where we're going, and just shakes his head. Nightmares about family.
Were you and your brother close?
He was the only one I had. Wait, DM. Was my older brother alive?
Yeah, he's alive, to your knowledge.
Oh.
But he was part of the scouting group that hasn't come back yet, right?
That is also correct.
He was one of the only family I had. Now he's gone.
I am sorry for your loss. Hopefully we can try to do something to... I don't know about revenge. Revenge never ends well, but bring peace.
I feel like once this is all over, he'll be at peace.
You'll be what?
He'll be at peace.
We might be wandering into a very dangerous situation. One that will have you hunted for the rest of your life.
What's the marching order right now? You guys have been marching for probably about 15 minutes at this point.
Since I pointed it out, I would probably be near the front leading, if not either Druid or Ruby. Since they have the tracking expertise that I lack.
You're in front?
Yeah.
Roll perception.
That I am good at. Ha ha ha.
You can continue this conversation.
26.
Okay.
Almost in that 20.
I don't remember what I just said.
Congratulations,
Family.
you are.
You were given a
family.
Van Diesel family speech. Family.
No, I asked, we are about to wander into something that will most likely have you hunted for the rest of your life. Are you sure you want to go down this path?
I feel as if there's no other path I can take. My whole life was with my family.
I understand.
Arendelle, you see a figure behind a tree facing away from you.
Am I able to identify what race this figure is? What clothes they are wearing?
Drow. Wearing almost a ghillie-like outfit. It's winter.
I can assume that they are not aware of my location.
You're not sure. They're not facing you. We can see their back, which is why you can identify.
I'll hold my hand up for the rest of the party and have
Immediately
them
just
crouch. Put that gun down. All right. I'll be back in a moment. I say as I cast invisibility upon myself. I will, and this is my feat use of the invisibility spell. So my shadow basically rises up from the ground and kind of makes it look like it envelops me and drags me back into the ground. So it's less full invisibility and more like you can't see me, but you can see my shadow. So you see my shadow begin to move.
You're kind of slinking through the snow.
Mm-hmm.
As you get up close, you see that this is a drow archer. And you kind of peer over this cliff face. you see a platoon of, not a platoon, just a small group of Knoll Order members kind of patrolling around through the forest. And he pulls his bow back. What are you doing?
I was approaching with my knife out, so as soon as I got up to him, I was just going to place the knife to his neck and cover his mouth with my other hand.
All right, Astarion.
Roll a d20 for me.
17.
And you hear, with a breath as steady as night, I'll paint darkness with a single crimson stroke. As he lets go of this arrow and it flies, it's kind of like wobbling through the air as you grab him and you kind of pull him back.
Not a word. Who are you and what is your business here?
Struggling, he says, who are you? Order scum!
You're
Starts,
not
fighting against
going. You are not the one who asks questions here. I say as I press the dagger closer to his neck and it starts to bleed. Who are you and
Cut
what
me
is your
more, it won't
purpose?
matter anyways. You've already slaughtered my people.
The hell are you talking about?
I come up besides Arundel.
Yeah, at this point, visibility would have dropped, and y'all would have seen I grappled this guy.
I keep my gun
Answer
pointed.
Okay, Astarion, roll, does an 18 hit?
No.
It doesn't. So he attempts to headbutt you, but misses.
So as we walk up, do we see the Order troops that are now alerted from the arrow shot?
They're scattering as you see one Knoll with his kind of like pinned to a tree and just like blood gushing down over his body, painting the ground crimson.
I will use the motion of him headbutting me to push him over me, and then put my as he falls face first into the ground, I'm gonna push my knee into his back.
I keep a gun pointed to him.
If he was shooting at the Order, is this someone we really need to attack? So,
What am I rolling?
Grapple.
Grapple. I will
What do you
be.
work
I
for?
have to use athletics, so it's a +1. That's a 16.
16. You attempt to, but he is very nimble and slips out. I rolled a 25.
Probably, yeah. That definitely is 9 points higher.
And when he does that, you see a sylvan blade come up as he kind of holds it. It's radiating with the magical effects.
Who are you and what are you doing here?
Who are you and what are you doing here?
I'm here to kill Order. What are you doing here?
What? I'm here to kill the Order.
Arundel, considering the Knoll blood that is currently in the snow, perhaps some observation is needed.
I look over his shoulder, which I was not focused on. I was focused on him and not what he was shooting at.
Become an enemy then.
I pull my gun back up.
I serve Loth. Who do you serve?
I'm gonna make a deception check real quick. I would like no one to make a response to it, please. That is a 23.
And I serve the Raven Queen.
I tilt my head.
So you roll deception, so I gotta roll insight?
Yeah, if he feels like he needs to.
Me roll.
I rolled a natural 20. That's why I said 23.
He believes you. He slowly starts to sheath his dagger.
As I do as well.
Keep my gun pointed a little more, but eventually just let it down.
The Order scum took me and my... They took all my people slaves. They're slaughtering us one by one. Turning us into... machines. I escaped.
You escaped and not your mistress?
She wasn't so lucky.
Fascinating. Bernadette, I believe this confirms your theory.
In what regard?
The flesh-crafted monstrosities that you mentioned. From the book.
Yes. Are they making them nearby?
The camp's just up the mountain. I've been taking out scouting parties for the last few days.
We had a tangle with a Cyclops and his gang last night.
Bruder. Yeah.
Ruda.
He's the collector. He's been skinning them.
That would explain the corpses.
And that ogre.
I believe that is who Ruda is.
No, that's the Cyclops. The ogre was the captive.
I assume you meant the.
They're taking everybody, men, women, children, it doesn't matter what race. If you don't join their cause, you'll just flack for their machines. Whole ships. Whole ships of people.
Not to be rude, but aren't you being a little hypocritical?
Why?
It's only fair that the coin gets fit onto your head.
Do you know this Loth?
A very infamous deity. One that is revered and feared equally throughout all Drow society. She demands sacrifices of her own people. Her own priestesses above all else.
We don't choose who we serve. Some of us are born into it.
I'm well aware of it. Now then, we've made our intentions clear, so this is where you get to make your next decision. Join us and assist us with gathering information and killing any order on the way there, or go about your own way and most certainly die. Seeing as a group of, 5 people just snuck up on you?
How can I join you if I don't even know your name?
I don't know your name either.
I hold up this.
Say it on 3.
Maybe
One.
something like that.
2.
3. Silver.
Draven.
A pleasure
Nice.
to meet you, Draven.
Is that name familiar?
Nice to meet you, Silvermoon.
Silveroon, but we'll get it there.
Is that name familiar?
Yeah. Is that just me or is that name familiar?
I don't think it's familiar.
Okay.
His or mine?
Draven. It sounds
Yeah.
familiar to me, but I'm misremembering.
You see him crouch down and fire off another arrow. It's skidding through an old jugular, exploding with blood.
There's a high chance you might know him from League of Legends, though.
That might be it.
How many gnolls are out there, and do they seem to have they
There's
seem to
one
pick
left,
up our
and
radar?
it's panicking. It's like sniffing the arrow, trying to get it, grab the scent.
Allow me.
I say as I conjure forth a spear.
I'm gonna reach a hand out. Perhaps we need to ask some questions about what exactly we're walking into.
Oh, sure, I don't intend on killing him. Just permanently crippling.
Very well.
Say as I loose the spear for an 18 to hit.
18 hits. Do you do non-lethal?
Non-lethal, just intending to basically hamstring him.
The spear goes through both kneecaps. You hear them shatter as it kind of like falls over.
Now then, on to the interrogation.
I see Draven kind of sling his bow behind his back and jumps down this kind of sloping hill / ridge that was making up this area.
I'll be skidding down there as well.
I'll put a picture of him in notable figures.
All right.
Hey,
I still
Seeing
cold.
do you not have the? Why did you not get clothes when we were in town?
But town demolished.
Do you still have the? Oh, heyo. Do we still have the? Do you still have the cloth or the fur?
I mean, yeah, I do have that on, yes, but I'm still a little cold. Like, it's only like protecting my bag.
These fucking thirst trap NPCs.
I came up with my next vampire character. Do you want to see it?
No. If it's a picture of Astarion, I'm gonna throw a brick at you.
This is my next vampire, the masquerade character, Gabbo.
Oh. Vampire the Masquerade. That's different. You should have said that.
What?
I would like to say
What?
that there are so many.
Total brouhaha.
There are so many similarities between Astarion and a vampire character I made like years before the game came out. It scares me.
Well, he's very much based off of well, it seems like Rocky Horror Show.
I don't even know what that is, so it definitely isn't what I thought.
All right, I'll send you a video later.
All right. So,
Oh god, he's hot. Why?
as we begin our approach,
If I'm not mistaken, they speak Abyssal, so I will be doing the talking.
These creatures.
It's like holding its legs in a feral-like stance. It's trying to like claw away.
It looks
just-
like a dog.
as I walk up to it, I just stomp on one of its knees to stop it from moving.
Silence.
Starts screaming in Abyssal.
Silence, cretin.
I say in Abyssal.
You are going to answer a few questions for me.
This is when the party tells me what questions we should ask.
How well guarded is their base? How many men?
Where's your camp? How many of them are you? How many of you are there?
The party says
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey,
What?
cut out. You said the party says, and then just cut out.
I
I
heard more
agree. Are you all in
Continue
agreement? Oh,
continue on.
Well,
Where-
Arendelle just asked a question.
Where's your
Who's it?
fortification? How many of you are there? And how well
Who's in
equipped
charge?
are you?
Ugazet! Ugazet!
Is what the party hears. You hear it translated as to shit face. Shit face. He keeps screaming at you.
I kick him in the snout.
I don't think that was the right answer.
Quem falas medano?
That's something to do with Elf.
Translated.
Fala.
The wheel is spinning, but the hamster's missing.
Oh, we
I'm
got a
noticing
smart
that.
one.
I'm noticing that, or he just said that to me.
That's what he said to you. He called you a fucking idiot.
He called me a dumbass. Yeah. All right. Let's let the dice decide his fate, shall we?
Net one.
No, definitely not. That is a my proficient. That's a 24 in intimidation to get him to speak the fuck up as I
Lambada!
as
No
I
lambada!
as I
Screams.
fall. I use the weight of me falling down towards his level to cut off his hand. And I'll just.
Elle tilts her head looking at this.
I grab him by the scruff of his neck and I say, "You will speak or you will die." This is all in Abyssal.
He calls you no lamana, which you know means no soul. It's verbiage for like a cold or a detached person.
Yep.
And he starts to work with you once you've taken out yet another appendage. And you ask him what?
1, where is his camp? 2, how many of you are there? 3, who is in charge?
He tells you his camp is about a mile up the mountain pass.
Based off of that, we can confirm that's what the smoke is.
You can assume.
All right.
He tells you there's millions.
An insight check.
Yeah.
Are you insight checking both of them or just one?
You know what? I'll insight check all of his because I obviously don't trust him. So the mountain pass one's a 14.
He seems to be telling the truth.
That millions one is an 18.
Definitely not enough smoke for there to be millions.
I slap him again.
No, the mana!
Yeah, you kind of sound like Stitch. I just imagine I'm interrogating Stitch now. I just bitch smack Stitch.
Alright, so you smack him, then what?
Again. How many?
There's about 1,000 of us.
What the fuck?
What?
That's a 16.
Holy fuck, I thought someone else joined the call.
He
No, it's a
seems to be
voice
telling
changer.
the truth. No, it was Max's voice.
Yeah.
And who is in charge? Who is your leader?
We report to Her Majesty.
What's a 21 insight get me?
The truth. He says he reports to Her Majesty.
I look towards Bernadette.
The king. I believe it was mentioned that he had children, correct?
I believe he had sons.
Does
but
he have a daughter?
I do not believe so. DM? Not mentioned a queen. He has a daughter? Oh. Yes, there is a daughter.
Well, then it looks like we're going to begin pruning the family tree. Do you have any other further questions for this cretin?
Ask him if the Stormcaller is here.
I will translate.
No request los lusazonos.
Translate to darkness follows light, and light follows darkness.
Does that mean anything to you, Bernadette?
To me, no.
You gonna roll intimidation?
Yes. 25. I have gotten so close to a nat 20 3 times. It's making me upset.
Strolios dazu uman.
Translate to does a troll use a club?
With the storm?
I think your translator's broken.
That's what it translates to does a troll use a club?
I believe he is trying to say that the answer is obvious. The Stormcaller is here.
What language is that? It's weird.
A very foul tongue that you want no part in learning.
Salve the vote.
Time will forget you.
Suffer a foot.
Bitch, man.
You will not speak unless spoken to. Do you have any other further questions? Oh, I recognize one of those words.
One who has an easy mind.
Definitely not the word I thought that was. All right. What was the name of the elf again? I want to put his name on there so I don't forget.
Raven.
Raven, as in Raven, but starting with a D.
Yes.
Raven.
Hey.
Welcome to the League of Draven.
Draven.
It's the character.
Is it spelled the same way?
Draven.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Hey.
Draven. Loth. Sworn. Drow.
Great. But it wakes up up.
Is there any specific information?
It's not
you're
Draven.
searching?
It's Draven.
Is there any specific
Hey.
information that you're looking for, Draven?
Just one. He stands on its neck, he pulls his bow back and shoots it in the head, and he says, I guess it does make that sound.
Dang!
Just wrench
Hey,
the arrow.
Draven!
I'll wrench the arrow out of his head. Hand it back to him.
I could have done that.
So you pull it out, you see it's dripping black liquid. So you re-quivers the arrow.
The normal color for what should be
It's
on
obviously
that
a
arrow?
poison.
Oh, right.
You also can't rule out the fact that this is a demonic creature. So
Yeah.
it's not gonna have normal blood.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Elle could have done that, but way less messy.
Can we keep Draven?
He's not
Can
a
we keep
pet.
We're not hiring. We already hired you.
Draven is with us for mutual beneficial.
Just
Is that
for
a word?
this quest.
There's 4 camps in this area.
Marlena's
There's the one
missing
that
out.
these scouts came from that is probably smaller than the one you encountered a few steps back. About a mile up into the cliffs, there's the headquarters. About 200 soldiers that are there currently. And as he so stated, Her Majesty resides there. That's where they kept me. And further up, we have the adamantine mines, where they're harvesting all of their supplies.
Why
Sure.
is she here? Princess?
Overseeing the progress. Adamantine's almost unheard of in WoW.
And they found an entirely untapped mine.
They're equipping all of their soldiers with adamantine shields, armor, and weaponry.
That is very not good.
Oh, I have plan. And I give a coy smile to everyone.
Oh god.
Is your plan to blow something up?
Blow up mine.
We could use that mine. Think further ahead.
Well, the mine isn't as simple as it seems. They've enslaved all the mountain dwarves. They're working under some sort of trance to do all their bidding for them.
Oh,
So we
They're
need
not
to
going to
find-
give that up easily.
So we're going to need to find the source of this enchantment. Likely that source is on the princess herself.
Targeting the spawn of the king.
One way or another, they were going to die. Just so happened to be sooner rather than later.
This will cause much wrath.
Queen
many-
isn't any pushover.
How many kids does the king have?
two
3?
sons and a daughter.
And the 2 sons are gone, right? They're already dead?
One son's dead
Okay, so son. Okay.
because he defected.
Okay, I'm thinking of the original origin story, but that was actually the king. That wasn't his
Two
sons.
twin boys and a daughter.
Okay.
Question: how big is the knoll?
Average size.
So 5 foot.
6 foot hunched over.
Ah,
If it was
okay.
standing straight up, probably about 7 foot.
Okay. In that case, I like give Arendelle a little nudge with my hand. Move, move.
What?
And I kick the knoll over and I start to undress it.
Okay, then.
I peel off the rope and look at it. We need go undercover.
You realize you look nothing like a gnome, right?
I sure I could make a fine pass.
I don't think.
You look like a rat. That looks like a cackling dog.
Those small, canine-ish, the mousecule.
You new guy.
Starts looking at Arendelle as you judge his wordage.
I'm just shaking my head.
How did you escape the camp? You said you were in the main camp.
Have you seen
Where-
raps amongst their ranks? Have you seen Aurora?
I've never seen you ever.
Oh,
What are you?
Aurora.
She's not a were-rat if that's what you're concerned of.
Oh. I saw a were-raven recently. They beat him to a pulp.
Oh. I look at the ropes again. Second, I guesses.
How did you escape the camp?
They had me out as a bait slave, is what they call it. They chain us up out here in the dark, hoping that the giants will come feed on us as to avoid their camps. Frost giant population here is nasty. Fortunately for me, they left me unattended for quite a while. I was able to fashion a lockpick out of a frozen piece of ice.
I don't know why, but the immediate thought was that he took a piss and used the piss icicle to like pick it.
Hey, I mean that's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea. That's probably the
Gotta
only
use
idea
what you have,
had.
man.
As he says out, Druid, do you know where the giants are around here?
Well, druids have giants. They can vouch for us.
If the giants are not pleased of the order being here.
Druid roll history.
Oh, God.
I threw down the race card.
You have giants. You
That's
speak the same language.
+0. Let's go.
They're in the trees, man.
No, they are the fucking trees.
You're not sure, but they are in numbers, and you also know that giants typically don't like small squeaking humanoids and react by just typically kicking them.
Wait, could you in fact polymorph into a tree and live like the lifespan of a tree?
Oh,
I don't
you
think I
cannot
know.
polymorph into a non-sentient object.
But it's alive.
Though you can
Now,
polymorph
did
a
you-
non-sentient
16.
object into one.
For your long rest, did you identify those potions?
Yes.
One of them was a potion of polymorph.
Wonderful. Which one?
One of them was this, the red one.
Potion of
Crazy.
One of
polymorph?
them was a
Three.
resistance to cold potion.
It's just let me do that real quick. I gotta edit it real quick.
Potion of
Resistance.
polymorph.
Also, Bernadette, add gem of Misty Step to your inventory sheet.
I did.
And the blue one was the potion of
be-
frost
There's an
resistance.
actual item for it now.
Oh, okay. I'll be giving that to Marlena when she gets back.
Potion.
And the black one is a thick poison.
Just
Very
thick
similar to
poison.
what you saw dripping off of Draven's arrow.
Would you happen to know what type of poison this is.
I'll show it to him.
It's basilisk venom.
So,
Oh,
They slaughtered one of the 3 that live in the area.
3.
Yes. They're suspected to be frozen beneath the ice. Amongst other things that live here.
Perhaps our first course of action to be to scout this camp, their main camp, and see what information we can gather. If it is too much for us to infiltrate or take on ourselves, it seems we have some unlikely but potential allies in the area.
I believe there's more than one way we could coerce the giants to rampage upon the order.
yeah, and I throw the rope aside and just leave the naked Noel on the
Reasoning with
floor.
frost giants, are you insane?
Reason. We said we were reasoning. I'm going
Coercing,
to
reasoning. Same category, no?
deceive.
Lure.
like-
You just...
We could
more
lure.
More like leading cattle.
I hope you have a plan for this because they're highly aggressive. You know,
I entirely intend on employing that aggressiveness to my advantage.
We saw a big one when we came here.
Indeed.
but I'd be shocked if you saw a small giant. No offense.
I look to our little giant.
Should we
He's
Feel
not
offended.
very well taught.
should we search for a potential giant now or check out the camp first?
I would suggest we search for the giants at a later time. Perhaps
I
if
agree.
we've exhausted all other options.
I agree. As crazy as potentially recruiting giants one way or another, it to me seems less crazy than storming a camp full of order soldiers. But let us see what we are dealing with.
Which camp are we attacking?
The Knoll camp to start.
Scout camp.
The less early warning they have, the better. And the less reinforcements they can call on, the easier it will be for us once we eventually lay siege to their main camp.
They most likely will have slaves there. They're using them for bait, like I said, to keep the giants away. Are we freeing them?
Now that you mention it, we could use them to lure the giants.
No.
What you planned?
I agree with your friend, as you so put it delicately earlier. My mistress is still amongst those ranks.
Do you know if she is in the
It
scouting
was
camps
just a
or
suggestion.
is she
We
in
would-
the scouting camps or
We were together in the main camp, but I'm not sure. I escaped a few days ago.
attacking the scouting parties would prevent reinforcements, but they will also notice when their scouting camps go quiet. One already has.
So as soon as we take action, we must be quick.
Would it be worth going straight to the main camp in that case?
No.
Very
I
well.
agree with your temperamental friend over here. Leaving our raids exposed seems like a horrible idea.
Very well. To the scouting camp then. Do you refer to me as temperamental?
I'm the temperamental one.
You're more reasonable than temperamental. And
I
you're
just-
some sort of mouse thing.
Aurora.
Wow.
Aurora.
I hold up this.
I do believe they only exist in this world.
This world.
Don't think about it too much. Now then, let us scout out the scout camp.
As we fade to black.
Fade to black.
The next
Do you
session.
guys want to continue, or oh?
Well, I don't know
Don't
about
ask.
you.
Don't
But
ask it
one-
like that.
One, that is a good stopping point. Two, I need to go to bed.
Perfect. We will end here.
We finished right on time today.
Hey.
And we actually managed to get some questions answered. Huzzah! How many,
Raven.
how many more you got on that list of yours?
For me,
Yeah.
I think that was the big ones for now. At least until you start being honest about some stuff. But I think that's the big ones for now. I'm actually gonna start making an actual list.
Well, the reason for that persuasion check was to see whether or not I was going to talk about it now or when we have our next talk. So next talk, you can ask.
Yeah,
that
the
in.
next time we have downtime.
Yes. The next time we have downtime.
Yes, just 30 minutes, 30 episodes more.
Fuck yeah!
Sorry. How was tonight's session, everybody?
It was great.
Yeah.
Good.
That was a lot. That was a lot of fun.
I don't like it when you make Arendelle cry though.
Yeah, the
I've-
dream sequences, Shy.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
I
Gassan was still missing from that, but sure.
No, she wasn't.
No, she was
No,
she was
'cause
gathering
was there.
coins.
Gazan was
uh,
gathering people.
She was
Oh.
there.
Oh. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, he said Victoria was doing the arm wrestling. Gazan was going around the outside gathering up more coins. They gave him a little bit.
The player, was genuinely affected by that. Like I was starting to tear up. So
Yeah.
I made
Yeah,
that
I
clear.
felt that as well, man.
I made that clear in character by having genuine tears before they began to blacken.
Yeah.
So that scene, if you guys didn't hear it, Arendelle was judging people while drinking tea. Victoria was arm wrestling a bugbear. Gazan was going around both drawing a crowd and also clearing out pockets. Vena was just like drinking and flirting with everybody, while Karma was sitting on the other end of the bar, like sulking in a corner, just staring at Victoria, unblinking. I was
Yeah.
like, that's about right. That's
All we needed was the flaccid eye stalk, and it would have been complete.
I still have that.
Which you still have, yeah.
I
Best
still have that eye stock.
best friend is not the word
Damn
I would
it, I
use,
should've
but
given it to
sure.
you. Fuck.
Let's just make it pass.
I mean,
Damn.
I reckon
To Victoria?
no, to you, like, Bernadette, because
Why?
the idea was that, I mean, technically, I reckon I could do it, but it feels like something more like what you would do, turn it into a wand.
I can reveal what the D60s are now.
Go
Ooh,
ahead.
One
This is
one
what
last
we're gonna
time.
call- this is what we're gonna call the downtime dice.
Oh.
So
the
we're never gonna
D6
use this
user-
again.
Well, we'll be using this a lot.
Holy
It's
heck,
so-
is that the 100?
It's so big.
How does that even roll? It's a
It,
ball.
it rolls, but it does not stop well.
Yeah. That's insane.
Like a train that fell off the tracks and started barrel rolling.
I was actually a
crushing cars.
train barrel rolling would stop easier than a train in motion.
But yeah, we'll be using that for downtime. So when you guys like go to bed, it'll be dream sequences. The numbers aren't going to switch. So if you guys rolled high this time and had something good happen,
That one.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be good. High may be bad some days. But I think you guys kind of got the gist.
I roll
Yeah.
in that. I roll in that one, and then the Raven Queen's fucking drags me back to. The...
Yeah.
Like, all right, you're done
You've been
now.
saying how much you want to meet Fury, so
How much have been wanting to meet who?
Fury,
My Fury?
the one who sits on the throne.
Oh, shut the hell up! I swear to
Dude,
God,
let's
if you give me the proper tools and the prep time, I will fight the Raven Queen.
That's gonna be our final boss at the end of the game.
No, I mean, I don't reckon the king's that powerful. I mean, he did just kind of shatter reality and bring worlds together, which is something God.
He has adamantine under his belt now.
Adamantine don't mean shit.
God,
The king is pretty cool guy. The princess is
Pretty cool guy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she is. Yeah, I'm sure that bitch is.
So I will say the princess is the reason the first party TPK'd.
Great. Solid.
So
Psyched.
if Nat was here right now, Nat would be like, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!"
Oh.
And we're
whoa.
gonna walk on into that.
Yes. Don't worry, not just us. An
You
army
can,
of
you can
giants.
ask. I'll let you guys do your research on the princess. You can ask Knot and Petal. They were both, and Fish. Fish was also present for that.
Wait, Petal?
They
Hopefully it
made a
doesn't-
joke called MAGA Bears. That if you say, "Hey, what about the boss who spawned the MAGA Bears?" They'll immediately know what you're talking about and fucking just meme on me. So
Hopefully we don't.
Okay.
they were magma bears, but they misheard it as MAGA bears, and then they just fucking started memeing the fuck out of me.
Mega Bears. Okay.
All I can say is that I hope this doesn't end the same way our last siege went, where we had to get inside of a blood elemental and roll away.
Hey, I'm not here to storm the wall anymore.
Oh,
I'm trying
Please.
to play. I'm trying
Please.
to play more strategic, so I'm
Let
trying to just
me-
make choices.
Just let me cast suggestion and don't start climbing the wall.
You know, I
How
will
do you
say,
feel about seeing your brother in hell?
fuck you, DM.
Is this what I'm gonna be seeing every time I go to sleep?
no, just once.
I mean, to be
But
fair,
we're all
out of all the hells you could have seen, Avernus is probably the tamest.
That's
Yeah.
that. You know, this
Wasn't
innocent
the-
boy who did not deserve that. Yeah, at least it's the tamest
I was
circle about.
thinking of like the 7th layer, but I was like, nah.
She wouldn't know what the 7th player is. She's only
I
played
know.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Avernus
So that
and
don't worry, Druid. That just means your brother's been sent off to fight in the Blood War. It's nothing too
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
the chosen champion of Tiamat.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Kidding.
I love seeing my family suffer.
Tiamat's not even in the. Wait, is she in the hells or is she in the abyss?
Tiamat
in the
is
house.
Tiamat is in Avernus.
She's a
Oh,
Vernus.
she's in Avernus? Oh,
Yeah,
She's got
she-
her own domain inside of Avernus.
Because
I
her
did not
and
know that.
Azariel are constantly fighting with each other. Just Azariel has her boot on Tiamat's neck.
Yeah, and Tiamat really wants that power.
I find it hilarious that Tiamat's supposed to be this big bad evil guy, but she keeps getting fucking bullied by everybody else.
Because she keeps
It's
getting
'cause-
betrayed and bullied.
I mean,
Zariel isn't even that. But Zariel's powerful, but she's not all that. She's not even. She
She's an
used to
angel.
be an angel.
she's limited to the first layer of hell. Like,
Alright.